I'm up here at People's Park at the corner by where People's Park was. This is the end of People's Park apparently. UC Berkeley has made their final move. Or is it? We've got shipping containers blocking off the whole street. You'll note in my earlier video about the destruction of all of the construction equipment that I'll link here in the video. This time they just didn't fuck around. They brought in, there's like 100 shipping containers that are surrounding the park. It seems like there's an active protest going on. You've got, sounds like there's a certain song on repeat that I'll probably hit a copyright violation for. But there are a certain amount of black bloc people hanging around and old heads, it looks like, people who remember the park, what it stands for. Let's walk a little closer. We got a bunch of CHP. It was on the radar that this was going to happen, 500. It was supposed to be on the 2nd of January. Today's the 4th of January. 500 CHP and mutual aid responders were going to convene here at the park. And what we're seeing right now is, it looks like a mutual aid response team. This is all CHP on this street. We'll check out some other areas, but what happened before was that they took the park back from the occupiers and the residents, and then those people were able to tear down a fence and reoccupy the park. At this point, what I'm seeing looks really difficult. We've got shipping containers, and it's like they've almost they're creating. It looks like these containers are moving with a forklift. Like they're creating a perimeter wall of 2 shipping containers high. That's approximately 25 feet high. Really hard to, I mean, not impossible to climb over, but it's going to make it really difficult for anyone to climb back into the park, given this situation that they're creating. The UC Berkeley has said that the problem is that they need to build housing. And if you live here in Berkeley, you know that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of housing units that sit vacant because landlords can't rent them for the high amounts of rent that they're looking for. You've got a situation where people who are working class don't make enough money. They don't make enough money to be able to afford to pay the kind of rent that it takes. A 1-bedroom apartment on Shattuck Avenue in Berkeley, which would be close to here, could cost you up to $4,200 a month for just a 1-bedroom. Even a couple with a two-income couple would have to pay out of pocket $2,000 to $2,500 each in rent to make your payments on living here in this town. And I don't see a lack of housing. I see another example. This is a shining example of government's failure to do their job, which is to take care of the citizens, the people. You've got a government that is centered on helping corporations who are not people to make money off of citizens, people. And it's not serving me. It's not serving, I don't know, if it's serving you, speak up in the comments. But this is a situation, this is an example of a situation, of a system that's completely wrong. It's just completely haywire. The university has allowed this park to be home to a rotating cast of people who I know, people who are activists, people who are doing good in the community, people who are fighting for your rights as a citizen. And they're people who are doing good work in this park. Some of them live here, some of them just work here in the park. But they've allowed this to continue for over 50 years, my entire life. This park has existed as a free space. And so, to me, this is just the ultimate slap in the face of everyone who is a citizen of California everyone who has gone to UC Berkeley, everyone who lives in Berkeley, everyone who pays taxes in California and in Berkeley. And I just can't believe it. If you look at the faces of all these people, they're just doing a job, you know. This might be double time, and that's cool. If you work for McDonald's and you do double time, you might get fired. But this is the state of our law enforcement. I think that laws need to be followed, but this is a gross misuse of that power by the university. I believe that they're paying. On the way here, we saw a guy being taken into custody at gunpoint. This is not a small thing right now. If I was to walk up to the fence and taunt them, I might be arrested. And I don't want to toy with my freedom in that manner today, though I have in the past. I've done outreach work in this park. I've done. I was in a band that played a show on the stage in this park. I've done needle exchange here in the park and outside the park to organizations, the Berkeley Free Clinic, who provide food. We've given out food at the park. I've been involved with Food Not Bombs. I've been an activist ever since I was a teenager. And to me, this is, I mean, I can't even, now that I'm here, I heard about this happening today. And now that I'm here, I mean, it makes sense. I get it. I know the university. I know what they can do. And I know they've wanted this. But where's the justice for the people who are here? Where's the justice for the people who lived in the park? Where are they going? You know, I know, I'm not homeless myself. I'm a renter, and I pay a lot of money in rent. It's difficult to live in this area. This is a very expensive area to live in. When people are homeless, people might say, oh, they're doing other stuff here. Let's walk over here. People say some homeless people are just a bunch of drug addicts and they're not doing anything. But, it's a lifestyle choice and romanticized commonly in movies and on television, But when you do it in a city, you're demonized, right? You're just. So there's a lot to film here. We're going to walk around. January 4th is a day that we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. This may live in infamy in the history of People's Park, and it may not. This might be the beginning of a new chapter of occupation of the park. Who knows? I don't know. I was here the first day that they fenced it off, and then the next day it was retaken. So life's an adventure, but this is not love, and this is not a dream. They're moving shipping containers to cover the entire park. To quote some lyrics from one of my favorite songs, this is no illusion. This is the university's greed at work. Just walking down the middle of Telegraph Avenue, January 4th, 2024. 2024. There's no business going on. Stores are pretty much empty. There isn't much of a protest. I don't see any activists. Cohesive. There's no cohesive. We're seeing There's a few more people here than when we were here about 25 minutes ago. I'm going to stop filming on the people because I'm not going to show people's faces. I love your look. Yeah, right. Some people speeding down the street at a barricade. That's a lot of shipping containers.
Do I look spooky?
Okay, so we're over here on Parker Street. We got the corner of the containers. You can see them right there. The container wall, which is the containment of the perimeter of what used to be People's Park, or is the land that the UC Berkeley owns, which has been a hotly contested place for all of these years. This is move number, who knows how many moves they've made. UC Berkeley trying to displace homeless people, displace activists, displace, and so now we're 18 hours into one day in the 55-year history of People's Park since the uprising in 1968. I don't know what there is that I could do, but I'm here at this. You got this little fence here being held together by handcuffs and zip ties. Now it's possible you could say that if I were to climb over this fence, that this guy might arrest me. I just don't see personally any logical thing that could be done from an activism perspective to take back this park. I don't know what's happening in the courts. People are talking about there's things that are happening in the courts. People are talking about that there are things that are being done at the city level. We've got things that can happen at the city level, but I don't know what, if anything, could occur at city level. What I do know is that we've got a police line, UCPD, and it's being enforced by a mutual aid response team that is comprised entirely, it so appears, of CHP officers who are contracted by the university, which is what one of them told me. And the situation is that the park has been secured by the university. And I just do not see any way around it. I don't believe that if there were anything within my power as a person to do right now, I don't believe that there is anything within my power as a citizen, or whether I be citizen, activist, concerned, rancher. There's no, I'm not going to drive a tractor through this. I'm not going to, I don't own a tractor. That's silly. Okay, but there's nothing I could do. And even if I did, I'm going to run into the side of a 2-story shipping container. So I have to say that for today, it so appears that People's Park has met its demise. I'm going to say that. But whatever. Again, one day in the 55-year history of a place that was fought for and that people died for freedom. A relatively short history in the cycle of things, in the scheme of things, if one were to compare it to our country or to the world. All right.